So apparently, executives at Universal are mulling over whether or not to make the final Fast and Furious film in the mainline franchise, unless there's a $50 million budget cut.
So Fast X, wasn't that advertised as like the part one, right?
It's supposed to be, yeah, this is supposed to be the ending of the franchise. It's supposed to be like part two. Yeah, it was left on a cliffhanger.
The budget has to be insane if they're asking for 50 million less.
And yeah, well, so it's funny you mentioned that. I pulled up a list comparing the Fast and Furious movies' budgets to their box offices. It went from being very profitable to the last movie being so barely profitable. Fast X had a ballooned. First of all, what do you think the budget of the first movie was?
I'm going to say it was very low. I'm going to go with 50 million.
Lower.
No way.
38.
Wow.
$38 million. The most recent one, Fast X, which came out 2 years ago, had a ballooned budget of $340 million.
How much
and
did it
that's
make?
production budget.
Well, how much did the first one make on 38 million?
The first movie worldwide made 206, a little under 206.5 million.
That's great.
That's 2001.
How much did Fast X make on 340 million?
It made $714 million after it according to Universal, barely crossed the line into green. And the 340, like I said, is just the production budget. That's not marketing. That's not theater costs. That's not what you're paying to your crew. Well, some of the crew, but not the cuts from the box office that the filmmaker would get or the actors would get. I'm sure Vin Diesel gets cuts from the box office. None of that includes that.
Yeah, there's millions that are not included in that 340.
So that is not a good return worldwide total.
That is the franchise you talk about when you're like, how'd we go from doing this to this? It's like, how'd we go from racing cars in the street to going to space? You know, it's like, I'm watching the Ice Age movies and I'm like, how'd we go from delivering a baby to its mom and now you're with a pirate fighting dinosaurs and now you're in space? Like, it's when a franchise gets so ridiculous that it's enjoyable, but it is stupid. That's Fast and Furious is the face of that idea.
I agree. I mean, I used to say that it's a money laundering scheme. I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if some scandal came out that they were just using the Fast and Furious franchise to launder money. Because
like,
I just didn't understand how this was making money. Yeah, but apparently there is reportedly no approved script, no release date, and most of the cast don't have contracts to return yet for the final film. This movie's probably not getting made.